Republic is the team that Nigeria had some trouble with, but got to grips with in their encounter. So as it stands in this group, Tunisia, who won their first game against Uganda, although there were some uncomfortable moments, they're up at the top along with Nigeria, followed by Central African Republic and Uganda. Well, as always, in Tunisia, joined by Boyd Gardner and Jeff Taylor and Boyd, you know, I have to say we probably just watched the most convincing display of all, Mali whipping Gabon after falling behind. And I just wonder if Uganda could fall, you know, victim to a heavy blowout today against Nigeria.
Well, quite possibly. This Nigerian team is star-studded. You know, the personnel they have is unmatched by nobody else in this tournament, that's for sure. You know, 1 through 12. It is names that you all know at home. For Nigeria, it wasn't a convincing display, was it? For them. And Coach Voigt, who you see in your picture there, he will know that his team has still got a lot more to give than the performance they gave against Central African Republic. You know, spoke to the Nigerian coaching staff, and they kind of said the Central African Republic a lot better than they expected. They also said, you know, this Ugandan team and the fight they put up against Tunisia has surprised them as well. So they've got a good look. You know, the Nigerians will be very prepared for this game, I'm sure, but they'll want to play better than they did against Central African Republic, because like we say, you know, this group stage is all about your performance, not necessarily your results. You do want to win for your position, but, you know, the most important thing is that you get your performances starting to reach a high level for the second round of games. Or second round, excuse me, for the knockout.
Well, in some ways, you could say it was dusting off the cobwebs for Nigeria, but in the other ways, you know, it's kind of a new team with a new coach, and as well, Uganda with a new coach. So it's the first time that we've seen Uganda actually at the AfroBasket. Jeruni Lutwama is their coach. You can see he's looking on. It's a new experience for him and his players, and for Will Voigt, the Nigerian coach, and many of his as well. Right now, the playing of the national anthems, starting with Nigeria.
Merci. Et là, on va passer l'hymne national de Uganda.
Announcer courtside introducing the referees today. Yusuf Maiga from Mali, Arno Comgilo from Cameroon, and Sofiane Yusuf from Algeria. We'll see them pop up on the screen here in just a second. Players also shaking hands. There they are. Lining up for today's So Nigeria, you know, a team that made it through the FIBA qualifying, played at the London Games. That was quite a story. Some of those players still around, including one Ike Diogu, number 6, but he didn't play because of a sprained ankle that he picked up right before they traveled to the country. But we would expect him to be back, and he is Mr. Everything for this team.
Yeah, he's still not out there today. Listed on the lineup, leading scorer from 2013. Is a big loss, you know, arguably, even with the stars they have, he is their best all-round player. But even without him, you know, you look at the starters here, there's a lot of talent for that team. You know, highlighted for me, Al-Farouq Aminu, the do-it-all forward. But I like Shane Olasani Aloau. We'll call him Shane on the inside. I think he just brings an extra dimension to Nigeria. The energy that he plays with, you know, the tenacity on the boards and finishing around the ring.
Uganda we didn't know that much about in the last game, but we sure knew a lot about him after, especially after the first quarter. Stanley Ochiti really up at the top there, the veteran, could drill some three-pointers, one after the other. But they had an interesting team. Stephen Omwini was another number 12. He's one to watch out for, and it's not surprising both of those guys are in the starting lineup, along with Brandon Seburumbi, Kassim Nagberi, and Samuel Makuza. So a change at point guard. Josh Johnson now not starting. He'll come off the bench.
Seburumbi, you just got a picture of him with the long hair on your screen. He didn't play particularly well in their previous game, Seburumbi, but he really struggled with foul problems. He'd be a key, but really this matchup, if they go against each other, Jiti, who we talked about, 20 points in their first game, you know, pick and pop galore. He was lights out probably on the three-point line early. Al-Farouq Aminu just did everything, 15 points, 8 rebounds in his opening game. So they'll be the two key performers. They were the two best players of their first game for either team. But for me, Seburumbi's going to stay on the floor for Uganda to get the balance with Ochiti on the floor as well.
And really don't forget that Al-Farouq Aminu, when the game was in the crunch, they were kind of really struggling against an impressive Central African Republic. The coach had to call a timeout. His team was struggling. He put in Al-Farouq Aminu, and all of a sudden everything changed. Both he and Chamberlain hit.
Yo, man, you can back up just a little bit,
so
man.
from that standpoint, Will Voigt did a great job of saying, I know what can solve this problem. He called a timeout, and the game wasn't the same after that.
Absolutely. Well, you know, Solomon Aywa, the assistant coach for Nigeria, told me the chemistry on this unit is way better than back in 2013. And you could almost see it when Chamberlain Oguchi had that little run of back-to-back threes. His teammates were looking for him. You know, they want success here at AfroBasket. The disappointment of that 7th place finish in 2013 very much bites them, I'm sure, and they'll want to be getting back to the medal podium.
You saw Coach Luke Wama there. He was really disappointed after the game against Tunisia. They really pushed Tunisia. You know, they made things uncomfortable, and he said, we know we can play a lot better. You know, we expect to play a lot better the rest of the way. So it's going to be interesting to see how Uganda come out. They should have been able to draw some confidence against Tunisia, but this is a different type of team that they're going to play today in Nigeria.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, can they play better? I mean, this Nigerian team, as we've repeatedly said, the personnel they have is as good as anybody in AfroBasket for sure, and as good as a lot of European and American teams as well. Anybody on the world stage will enjoy some of these players that they have in their roster.
We didn't mention Michael Uma, the guard, the point guard, but I thought he was terrific as well for Nigeria. You know, that might be a question mark coming into this tournament, and so far so good for him. But anyway, welcome to Tunisia, folks. It's AfroBasket 2015. It's Nigeria and Uganda. And it's Nigeria. The Tigers come out wearing the green, and it's the Silverbacks of Uganda wearing the white. And it's Al-Farouq Aminu gets inside. And tries to get something going, but Seburumbi comes away with the ball and draws the foul.
So Seburumbi is the key because he's the inside force of the duo between Seburumbi and Ochiti. Ochiti likes to pick and pop, stay on the perimeter. The balance with Seburumbi is then he's there to rebound. scoreless in his previous game, fouled out. Oh, sorry, committed 4 fouls in just 14 minutes.
Right here, going up against Lawal, and soft shot. And look at the emotion from him. We saw Gabon come out in the last game and their defeat behind them to have a strong start, but they weren't able to sustain it at all. Interesting to see how Uganda can do against this talented team. Well, they get the interception. Ochiti takes the ball, hands it off. Inside to Ochiti. Omwinye. Back over to Ochiti for 3. And Sebarumbi. Boy, he's had a great start, hasn't he? But the ball into the hands of Lawal, who drives in. And oh, what a great play from Lawal, who changed hands. He took the ball from his left hand and put it to his right and drew a foul.
Just signed with Barcelona. So he'll be a EuroLeague player playing at the highest level of European basketball next season, but one of a couple of players on the floor with an interesting background story. Came out of college basketball. He played 3 years at Oakland before dropping down to Division II. And after playing Division II, he's traveled the world. You know, he's been in Qatar. He's been in the 4th tier of Spanish basketball. He's been in the 2nd league in Italy. He's been in Kazakhstan. And now he finds himself with perhaps one of the biggest clubs in the world, in Barcelona.
Yep, and he'll tell you it's just a matter of time. Omwinye. But AfroBasket is there. I suppose if you talk about the big stars of the AfroBasket over the last couple of years, you have to put AfroBasket up there, being the NBA star. Always shows up for his country. Loves it.
Top 10 draft pick, isn't he? Doesn't get too much bigger than that. Challenge from Uganda again on the boards. That's where just that presence of Sebarumbi is a difference for them.
One shot from Cruz goes out of bounds. That's Minu's brother as well. Ladi Minu is a terrific player. He's up top. He's got the ball right now. Ume, 3. That's good.
You said you were impressed with him. Plays in Italy. Ume, great numbers in the first game. 13 points. 4 assists as well. There's a smooth stroke.
Play crucial for Nigeria. 2 years ago, it probably cost him. And a bank shot from Ochiti.
He's got range, we know that, the way he shot the other day. I've just been reading up on him. He says he likes that Timmy D bank shot as he describes it himself. And that's exactly what we saw there. He says that's his go-to post move.
This time off the back of the rim, but gets the rebound. Now Gucci, and he was on line to short. Probably a real big-time three-point threat for Uganda. Ball is off. Wari. Now Gucci drives in and draws the foul.
Drive from Oguchi, as you said, is known as a three-point shooter, really, more than anything, but he does have the ability to put the ball on the floor, can get to the rim. It was a powerful drive, took contact.
Now, I said that the point guard play was perhaps a weakness of Nigeria. They did have Uzo back in 2013, but maybe the depth.
Yeah.
You know, when he came off the court, that's what they were lacking, whereas now they've got Uzo and Ume.
Yeah, it was through injury and registration problems. Uzo was really the only point guard on the roster for Nigeria, and Al-Farouk Aminu spent a large time at the point.
Coming inside. Oh, he hits the runner. Nigeria upset. It felt like he stepped out of bounds.
I mean, he was clearly out of bounds. I could see it from where we're sitting. He was a good 6 inches. I mean, this scored from the official.
The three-pointer from Oguchi.
He's got a pure stroke, hasn't he, Iguchi?
Stephen O'Brien using every bit of that court and a little bit more in that last basket. Look back at that. Behind the back pass. He's going to the behind the back pass to good effect today. It's 10-6. Iguchi picked up the foul. Chiti gets it to the man who inbounded it, Seberimbi, to rebound, and Awal was able to corral it. They're going to call the block. Well, I thought it was going to be the charge. Shane Lawal doing a good job of drawing the fouls. Very good. Watch this. They slid him just a little bit there at the end. Again, I thought they were going to call a charge. His first foul. Got into foul trouble against Tunisia. Had to sit down. Iguchi, another three, and already Iguchi in his second game kind of staking the claim as one of the best, not surprisingly, three-point shooters in this tournament. Chiti at the line, probably the more reliable option from outside.
You've got to get into Chiti, don't you? You've got to make him put it on the floor. He catches and shoots. It's very effective as Iguchi's feeling it right now. Don't miss the heat check.
Well, he missed that one. Iguchi just hit those back-to-back threes the other day that were just real daggers. You know, they were plus 19 when he was on the floor. Shot 57% from three-point range. Greenby, boy, they're really doing a great job, both Iguchi and Alade Aminu. And here's Iguchi again. Count it! And then he gives the salute.
Iguchi, he's feeling it, but credit again to the Nigerian players for finding him when he's open. And when he's shooting like this, you know, it's just going to open up more space for them.
But what I like about it, Lloyd, is the fact that he played defense before that play and forced the turnover, but Onwinyi has just drilled along with as well.
My mistake, yeah, you're right.
And Aminu missed it, but there was a foul. Now, is that Seberimbi or is this a second?
No.
It's on number 11. Kawanyi. Iguchi, another three. This time had the shot blocked.
Jeff, number 11's not even on the floor.
Yeah, I don't know.
For Uganda. Officials are talking about this now. They've just noticed. Foul's been called an 11. He's not on the floor. I'm not sure how he can pick up a foul.
Yeah, I don't even think he's played in Kawanyi. No. Yeah, he did play late in the other day. Let's see, who was that foul on? So they do give it. No, now they've given him 2 fouls.
No, they're trying to take it off. Look.
Oh, now he's got 3.
It's a tough afternoon for him, isn't it? Oh, he's fouled out now. Yeah, now they'll reset. Number 15 it is that's committed the foul. The problem is that, and that is, I think, the second.
Take it off.
I think when they're trying to do that, it was the second foul on 15, which is Seberimbi, which is a disaster again for Uganda. Good pass.
Well, they left him in. Athletic move from Uganda's number 10, Kasim Magweri. Awal. Tough to handle. Gets inside. There's another foul.
Nigeria are playing well, but Uganda are going toe-to-toe with them right now, you know, keeping close, even with the great shooting from Iguchi. The problem is fouls. Already, we're only 5.5 minutes into the game, and already there's 2 fouls apiece on both of your frontline players. Chiti has 2, and say Burundi has 2 as well. And Uganda, we know they don't have that depth to be able to compete if those 2 aren't on the floor.
So Gidi has come in for Aladi Aminu.
Gidi's another 3-point threat. So while Uganda are using this zone at times, we'll be able to find some space.
Nigerian defense is really causing problems, and yet again it was Gucci. So Aminu now tries his hand at 3-point range, and Omuni is down. And foul. Omuni, rather, is interesting player. He came to the press conference the other night, softly spoken, but a lot of determination. Both he and the coach saying, we know we can do better. And, came back down and missed that foul there from Aminu. That's a bit rushed, I think.
Too much confidence in that one. Gives a little thumbs up to his coach to apologize.
Aminu drives in the lane, puts it up, the follow, and here comes Uganda. Quickly in the open floor, Nagweri. Now Chiti. Chiti gets it back. He has feet set, but he was short and was able to get it. Now he gets it over to Nagweri and rims out. And to stop the fast break, foul by Makuza on Ume. So Uzo's coming in, and Benja as well.
All right, let's go. We got 2.
Benja is actually on the floor now, just outside New York, standing there. Basketball with Syracuse.
He's another guy known as a 3-point shooter. Didn't get the stroke going against Central African Republic, really. He shot it quite quickly in a couple of offenses, but didn't have the same impact as Aguchi. We'll see how he does in his second appearance. He's only young, 23.
So Uma comes off, and Uzo comes on.
Length of these Nigerian players, when they get in a trap, the arms just seem to go on forever.
Almost had the rebound, but Farouk gets it. Farouk drives to get some contact and does. And is that number 3 on Burundi? If it is,
Yep.
what was a disaster has just become now untenable. He has to come back. 2:57 remaining. It's unfortunate. He actually started very well, but he's kind of become more anonymous, hasn't he? So he has indeed picked up his 3rd foul. Well, that's the challenge for him, obviously, is to learn how to stay on the floor. Meanwhile,
He is one of the better players for Uganda. Played 4 years at Furman University in the US, now plays professionally in Spain. In the 2nd division there, plays for a decent club.
Furman, the Purple Paladins in Greenville, South Carolina.
And the veteran, known as the General.
Shouting over his teammates, they can't guard me, he can't guard me. And he must have said it like 5 times. that trash? I guess it's not trash talk if he's not talking to the other player. Anyway, the foul has put Nagueri at the line, and he misses the first. It's interesting that you singled him out today as player. He's come back pretty well today. Howell already has 6 points and 3 rebounds.
Interesting because there's a different dimension. I had Gianilo out last AfroBasket, and he was a power player, but it's not the energy.
Howell, the bounce pass. Uzo gets his first basket.
Uzo is smooth. And everything he does, it just looks like he's coasting. Electric player.
Chitty. His 3 off.
Good play call. Around the back screen. And Rao had to help. Alpha Chitty gave him the open 3, and it's something that Coach Voigt is talking to his team about. You cannot leave a Chitty open to get going from beyond the 3-point line.
All over him, he can't go this way, can't look this way, all right? Ball has to stay on one side. The guys on the weak side, okay, help, okay, and communicate. All right? I need to see pressure on the ball here, right here.
Draw his man before you release it, Andy, all the way to the corner.
Well,
you
Voigt has
come
to
up,
like what he sees,
and then you're going to wherever his man happens to be. He held for a long time last time, Shane, but it's your world. You don't have to curl, you can ice.
Defense right here. Defense
Total
on
for
3. 1, 2,
Nigeria,
3.
50% for 2.
Let's go.
44% for 3, and then that 90 from the line.
Now, what we wondered about Nigeria was, are they able to step on the accelerator and keep their foot on the accelerator for the entire game and go ahead and blow this game, put it out of reach? They struggled to do that the other day. They eventually did. They won by 20, but
Into the bench. The bench didn't really keep up the tempo like we'd expect. The players. There. That's going to be the 3rd on Chitty. Just blows past his man. Too quick for Chitty to get there. And now we're looking at a very small front line from Uganda. Kawani comes in. So they go 6'7" Kawani. 2 meters and 195 Henry Malinga.
Well, without Sebi Rumbi already in foul trouble, and Ochiti has to take a seat. It's a 13-point deficit. It's not looking good for Uganda. And Nigeria playing with a real sense of purpose today.
Nigeria have scored 27 points now in the first quarter. So saying they do have that potential to just bury teams and just rack up big scores. The tempo they play at as well. You watch, it's completely different to say Senegal, who we saw yesterday. You know, they've got pressure up the floor. They'll play fast as well. And they get it. The ball moves quickly. They'll take quick shots and rebound. Too many shot clock violations, I think, from Nigeria today.
Well, Omwoni buries a three-pointer, a much-needed one for Uganda. Points now for him, second three-pointer. Three-point attempt from Benija, no good, and Uganda now with a little bit of a chance, a little bit of an opening. And another jump shot attempt is no good this time for Jimmy Inabu. Nigeria will hold for one shot. 5 seconds. Uzo hands it off to Farouk. He's got to put it up. He does, but it's going to be off the top of the backboard. Farouk asking for a foul, but it's not going to happen. Never change it. 27-16, Nigeria lead Uganda after one.
Stay close to them. We're slowing them down, okay? They are thinking,
Nigeria just
beating
doing a lot
you,
of
they're thinking on who
hard
to make
work.
the
They've got
pass.
4
If you're late,
three-pointers,
okay, and you
most
come
of
late,
those
second
coming-
late,
3 of those coming
they're
from
running
Gucci,
past us all the time,
from Uma.
okay? So keep fighting through the screens and get there early, all right? I need you guys to be aggressive, okay? Jimmy, when you come off the screens and you don't get the ball, don't stop playing, okay? Go back and get another screen, catch to the hoop, all right? Let's
highly
leave us
efficient,
small
haven't they?
things to get us off.
Nigeria offensively,
So you
you
don't have
haven't
to
turned the
panic.
ball over,
You're
rebounded
flying
pretty
out
well,
on the
shot
perimeter
it
and
well
they're
from the
blowing by you.
three-point line and the foul line.
Everything's good there.
Platform for them to
Offensively
go
for
forward.
us,
I mean, they'll
next time
probably
down
be
the floor, I want to
disappointed.
go
They've given up
gaggle.
16
Olu, which
points
block
to
do you
Uganda,
want?
really.
Right block,
because
all right?
Ugandan
So we're
offense has
coming
also
back to
looked
the
pretty
gaggle
good.
side with Olu on the right block. So get it swung through here.
From
Doesn't
Nigeria,
matter.
so many
Actually,
weapons.
let's put Mike Benajay on that side, right?
Farouk Aminu hasn't
Andy,
really
there's
got
your
going. He's only got
reversal.
4 points.
You get the swing.
Still
There's
got
the
a number
reversal
of
here
pads
when it
come
hits.
in yet.
Big
Nigeria, all of this without the tournament's leading scorer from 2013.
Start of the second quarter here, Uganda down against Nigeria by 11 points. Agueri in the game for Uganda as well as Jimmy Inabu. Samuel Kawani has the ball right now, number 11. Stephen Mwami, and also Henry Malinga, number 14. By the way, Lloyd, Henry Malinga, number 14.
The general.
His aim was to one day be like Hakeem Olajuwon. And Uzo commits the foul there, trying to play defense. And we saw that graphic telling you who's on the court for Nigeria.
How Uganda would love Hakeem to be on their team right now. Some sort of inside presence.
He still played. He played in the recent NBA game that he's played in South Africa.
And this is the Nigerian 5 that didn't play quite as well against the Central African Republic, and let them back into the game. See if Uganda can have some success against them as well.
Deji, rebound.
Shot clock. He was late. 20 seconds. Okay? Thank you very much.
Adjustment on the shot clock again.
So Bennett is going to inbound it and give it to Uzo. Uzo comes up top. Deji gets inside. And Omwani is up for the rebound and brings it up the floor. Oh, that was a dangerous pass he got away with. Omwani. And the general travels, brings it back over. Asking Chikoko who was the player that he looked up to. You know, center, rising center, whatever. Who Chikoko is, and he goes, Kobe Bryant. I want to play like him.
Centers always want to be a guy, don't they? Yeah. As we see from Salah Meshri. He's trying to show their skills.
Quickly to the other end. Malinga has it, passes it back out. Maguire.
He's got to step up here. He's a scoring threat. The others on the floor.
Maguire puts up a tough shot. It was online. It was good. He gets it back to 8 points.
Tough. Uganda without their two front court stars.
And foul has been called on Maguire as well as Iguchi. I think maybe he was the real player for me in the first quarter. In fact, Iguchi has 11 points. Drives and travels. So the door opening just a little bit here for this Uganda team without Severindi and without Ochiti on the floor to get back within 6, maybe 5 with a three-pointer.
Move back on the floor, try and give him some consistency from that starting unit. Slip.
And Warney chases it down. Long one, and he was fouled by Benija shooting the three-pointer. They'll settle for that, Uganda.
Offensively for Uganda, they'll be pleased with the production they've had. You know, they struggled a little for offense, scored just 55 points against Tunisia. So the fact that they've got 19 early in this one will please them. And the offense looks impressive. It looks like they're going to score points so far. But the problem is Nigeria look like they're going to score twice as many right now.
Josh Johnson has checked in as well for Uganda. And another missed free throw, so not taking advantage at all of being fouled from behind the arc. That's 1 of 3. So that's a 7-point game. Open and drills it. Pick the set, screen, and they took advantage.
Great execution, drawn up play from Nigeria.
Basket. Oh! He made the long shot, did Benija from half court, but it was after the whistle blew. I mean, that wasn't even close. It was a swish. Do you have your guys practice half-court shots after games? This is some guys do it.
No, but yeah.
Yes, they do it.
People love to do it. They always get them out there. Coaches as well.
Going to be determined third. Oyedeji being told to calm down. Getting a little too excited down low.
Stand at that time from Uganda. It was good defense, but Anabu post. They're going to get a better offense last time. Poor decision from Johnson. Peter's man drew some help, but he's going to find the opening. 4 seconds traffic.
On the one, he got a bump there. Jumped out of bounds, but ended up turning it over. Benija. Boye. Just struggles a little bit right now for Nigeria. And Uganda's offense is well struggling. Now he misses a match. Misses. On Warney now brings up the floor. Bounce pass. Malinga. Inside. Nabu. They are getting some looks. 9-point game there for Nigeria. couldn't quite keep him away from the basket. Oyedeji was able to knock it out to his teammate. Inside, and it leads to the basket.
It's better from Johnson that time. Didn't get too deep. Beautiful find from him. Good poise as well from Uganda. Didn't rush anything. Still ahead. Only down 7. As well as Nigeria played. We keep saying this, don't we? Yeah.
We just cannot seem to step on the accelerator, at least with that second team. Ogidi for 3. That's good.
And he shot the ball as well. So well in that first game, Ogidi. 12 points for him on that.
Johnson goes around and then loses it, and the ball goes out of bounds. So 15 seconds on the shot clock for Uganda. Another look at the 3 from Ogidi.
Wide open in the corner. Uganda got to make sure they move that ball.
Zutsi's back in, and he's going to cork one. And they dodged the bullet there because it was in and out. Oh boy, in the pass into the backcourt leads to Ume for the layup. And that takes it to a 12-point lead. And the drive inside, much better. And look at the motion there from Uganda's number 11, Samuel Kalani. Good penetration from Nagweri. Timeout on the floor. Uganda hanging around after this basket, down by just 10 points to Nigeria.
Yeah, they've done a tremendous job breaking down that first defender. They've beaten that man consistently, or they've come off the screen and got into the lane. The problem for them is then the decision when they get to that point. So the first decision is good, you know, the attack. But when they're in the paint, you know, the Nigerian defense is rushing at the ball, so they're not able to get a shot.
That's all they're going to do.
That's when they've either got to find the right kick out for an open shooter and make the shot, or they've got to effectively move on the inside. And at the moment, they haven't really done that. We've seen Johnson penetrate. We've seen the last penetration as well, where every pass is difficult.
But if that is happening,
if you think about it, if you've already beaten one defender,
those are there, but the
somebody somewhere has to be open. It's about effectively moving and making sure the floor is spread enough. One defender can't guard 2 people.
5, 1 and 2. 5, go screen for 4, 1 screen for 2.
Absolutely. That's going to be the question for Uganda. Can they hit the 3 at a good enough rate? Because usually if you're in the defense and you get beaten, that's the shot you'd want to give up. You take away the penetration, you drop down and take away the immediate pass under the ring and give up a kick out for a 3 that you can try and close out. Uganda 3 of 14 from beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, you saw on the graphic there that overall Nigeria shooting 29%. Some threes surprises me, so they've really pulled off here in the second quarter, and 21% for Uganda.
MJ misses a couple of them out. Which is under 50%. The ones he's missed have rattled in and out.
That's a poor boy thing right now. I don't want to mess around. I'm going to get my front line back in there. And brings in the studs. Kaminu hits the 3-point. And takes that to a 13-point lead. Get my first look here at Dal Madial as well. Uganda. Number 15. watch this. He goes up, he says, you're not going to block, and then he gives the finger wag, number 11. I don't think it's in his best interests. Number 11.
He got into the paint on the drive and make the right decision.
Here he is.
Kick. Every time he shoots it, you think it's going to go down. Even the ones he's missed, they've rattled and come out. Very pure stroke from him.
He's just phenomenal, really. Still 8 from three-point range today.
That's the one that's impressed me the most. Obviously, Aminu and Loau, they come with a great European pedigree. Loau played in the Euro League this year, but Magucci not really as well known on that world stage. He's going to be playing in Poland next year for AfroBasket.
He's had some tryouts in the NBA and for some reason just hasn't been able to make it. In that first game, he was crucial when they put that thing away with those back-to-back three-pointers. That was in the second quarter, wasn't it? He finished 4-7 from three-point range in the first game. So he's on quite a tear three-point shooting-wise right now.
8 makes in 2 games, or a game and a half.
16 points to lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Now, Kaladi Aminu, this is where it gets really difficult for Uganda.
Finger wagging on, was there? I mean, Merrill turned. Watch him move out the way. He turned, he saw Loau lining it up, and Mario wanted no part of that.
I suppose in a way, you were talking about the journey that he's had in basketball. Maybe, he's going to have some of this stuff pent up in him. He wants it to come out and let everybody know how good he is.
Fantastic story. Division 2. He plays in Doha. Then he goes to one of the lowest levels of Spanish professional basketball.
Really attack.
In Libya.
And this guy come behind him a little
Spain
bit.
in another low division. He's in the Italian second division. He's in Kazakhstan as well. Yeah, he was with Sassari. He went from Kazakhstan to Sassari, so he owes a lot to the Italian club because of the year with them. And it's just given him that support. Really. 9 points, 7 rebounds in the Euro League last year. He averaged. Now with Barcelona, I think he'd be a great fit in a team like Barcelona.
We also say that Kazakhstan gave him this one.
Yeah.
They took him to Italy to join the Italian champions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sassari. So, there have been a lot of great players out there. I remember J.R. Holden, who I think started out in Latvia, with a smaller club, and ended up making it to Moscow. It's good. Shot from Samuel Makuza.
The offense looking comfortable for Uganda. Getting a problem getting shots at all. That decision making needs to improve, but success.
The double team comes, somebody will be open. Well, Ninu was open, missed it. The ball was scrapping for the ball, couldn't get it. And then the ball just goes off the hands of Joseph Ekong and out of bounds. So that's frustrating for Uganda. But standing around feeling sorry for yourselves. Get back out there. it's been a terrific start for Uganda in this tournament. They've been able to play the tournament hosts, and then they get to come out and play really, the team that has all the flash and all the quality. The guys who look up to that you hear about. It's Chamberlain Gucci. He's going to put it up here. Yes, he does. And it's just a little low. Ball gives it back to him. This time his feet are set, and it's good. If his feet are set, forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, the one he took before was a difficult shot. They had to get it up because of the shot clock. Again, Nigeria just do a great job of finding it, though.
Beautiful drive from Uganda. Fearless move from Samuel Gucci, who's starting to feel it now. 2 consecutive passes for him. 60 seconds remaining. Nigeria up 16. The last shot, at least they'll try. Lead. He could have burned a foul there. So 48-30, Nigeria lead Uganda at halftime here at the AfroBasket on day 3. Boyd, 17 points for Chamberlain and Gucci, and Nigeria, when their first team's on the floor, they're looking pretty good. They're up 48-30 over Uganda.
Final flow again.
By Gucci is just single-handedly keeping the three-point shooting good, 38%. Uganda's done a good job in terms of not turning the ball over too many times. Cut out now. Their debut at the AfroBasket. We've got 20 minutes left against the powerhouse of Nigeria.
told him he'll ram you here. But that doesn't mean that he's going to we find we're hands here. How can you how is possible? No, he because he held my legs, I gotta get him off me. That's what happened. All right, my leg, I gotta get him off me. So all right, we're gonna pay attention on it. All right, we're gonna pay attention.
Bringing him out, okay? Shane, now it's a gap.
Chamberlain Oguchi, 17 points. Hot three-point shooting yet again, the second straight game. And Nigeria have benefited building a 18-point halftime lead. Look at it, you know, shooting from everywhere from behind the arc. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I was impressed with the defense as well, especially in the first quarter. But when you've got a guy like this that can make three-pointers like that, it's like, you can't stop me. And then he just gives the salute. I'll tell you what, Lloyd, this Nigeria team has a little bit of swagger, especially when you consider Lawal, the way he's been, you know, giving this verbal joust after his dunks and what have you.
Well, you've got to say the way where these Nigerians play, the reputation they come in with, and how they've been playing, perhaps his swagger is justified right now. They've been very impressive in that first half once again. You know, it's a bitty performance, but at times in the opening game they were very good. And what a start to half number two.
Yeah. Ume, who hit three in the first half, has come right out and dropped one in the second. And maybe Nigeria is tired of hearing about how they never put together the great teams at the AfroBasket. They want to come out and smoke somebody. Well, Chiti goes in, misses, taps it out to his teammate on Mooney. And drawing the foul was Kasim Nagweri. Control of the ball as he went up.
Yeah, good drive though. Got into the little seam, didn't he, that gap? And really, he got in with the trees that Nigeria have. Getting to the line is sometimes the best you can hope for. So job done for him, but misses number one. That's the big difference as well. Shot it well from the free throw line, haven't they? So 2 of 10 as a team now. Oh, sorry, 2 of 9. That's incredible.
And they also have the lead in dunks for the game, including that one from Al Farouk. Foul trouble, Seburumbi, and he makes it.
And that's why the fouls just hurt them so much. He makes it. Him and Luau are having a great little battle as well. He makes it. Oh, and he's going to pick up such a cheap foul. So Seburumbi made the jump shot and was giving it a woo when he was coming down, looking at Luau. Luau just turned and smiled at him.
I just don't like it.
No, Luau just made a cut to the foul line. and Sebi just grabbed him by the hips. Didn't really pull him back, was just kind of touching him, you know, knowing where he is, and that's just going to kill the game because that's his 4th foul now.
I mean, yes, he shouldn't have done it, but sometimes if you're the ref, you just want to look the other way. He wasn't really attempting to foul him. He had his hands on him. So anyway, he has to learn from that and learn that you're not allowed to do it. And unfortunately for today, he's going to have his 4th foul.
I'm one of those coaches. I don't like it when the referees interpret the rules and say, oh, well, he didn't really get an advantage or a disadvantage, so it is or isn't a foul. You know, my opinion is, if it's a foul, call the foul. But that's one of those situations there. It was just so, you know, everything was so out of the way of what was happening. You know, it was just an innocuous cut up to the foul line. Nothing was really happening. It wasn't that it affected the game in any way, shape or form. And they've just called a foul and potentially lost us any sort of comeback from Uganda.
Well, Sebi Rumbi has to sit down and sloppy play from him.
Everything about his shot is efficient. What a block. Watch out.
Love the defense from Alfred. He gives it to his brother and he puts it up off the glass.
Just love the efficiency of his shot. It's all compact. There's no extra movement at all from Oguchi. Such a smooth looking stroke. And for the youngsters at home to watch.
He played for a huge club. Watching these players, see something that I like, and offer them invite to camp.
Well, he signed for Anwil Roklovic next year in Poland.
Well, they got a good player.
Yeah, and you know, he did make the ACB last year. He was in Gran Canaria for a short time. And I think that's kind of his level. You know, I think he's of that ilk. He could play in the ACB, play in the EuroLeague.
That one doesn't count.
And the question is, how many is he going to make in this game? And maybe how many minutes he plays.
It's unfortunate that didn't count, because that would have been number 7. Foul is not his teammate, so that wipes it away. Foul has been called on Nigeria's Iguchi. So Iguchi's picked up the foul and put Uganda on the line. It's 58-32. Sebi Rumbi is going to the bench with 4 fouls. Uganda is doing everything they could to stay within touching distance. But that by Iguchi, this Nigeria team has just been able to blow this game wide open. Michael Ume, the player so far, in double figures, although Wall no doubt joining soon. Wall 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Adi Aminu. And Titi with the rebound.
kick out. Nigeria got caught, Ume penetrated and kicked it out. He was under the basket. He's usually the guy that's supposed to be back as a safety. No one else from Nigeria recognised. So he got the leak out.
Lottie goes up and gets it. Right arm.
Anticipation.
Wasn't really clearing out. Just kind of backed into him.
Yeah, he almost pulled the chair out, didn't he, on one knee? Backed away, let Allard fall to the floor. And for the first time Uganda, we talked about the penetration and the decisions there. That was the first time they did a pretty good job. Great penetration from Naguere. And he was under control. He had the open man wide open, but the man wasn't ready to catch and shoot. And so it bounces out of bounds. If that had been a chitty, then it's a certain 2 points, I'd say. Even perhaps say Barumbi is on the bench. That's the difference.
Gets inside.
You see, this is where the fouls for Uganda even mount up, because the front line players are almost having to shift people up. So somebody who was a 3 is now playing the 4 to cover for the fact, say, Birumbi's on the bench. And where that really hurts against Nigeria is, Al Farouk Amin, who plays the 3. So he's now going against somebody even smaller, and they can go to him in the post. Wow. The size he's got. They'll go to this mismatch. There it is.
Good. If you don't double team him, he's probably going to go around you. So.
And wow, a lot of credit to him. A lot of players in that situation may force it because they've got the mismatch, but he just took the double team, made the pass.
Aminu steps in there and swats a chitty. Goes to Iguchi, another 3. Ring it up. Another 3-pointer for Chamberlain. I can shoot the 3-ball, Iguchi.
Well, we said after the last game, Ibrahim Jambo was starting to make a name for himself, throwing it down. Maybe we should call every 3. And Iguchi, here's another one.
He's open, he passes unselfishly, and fouled was Ladi Minu by a chitty.
And that is, Coach Solomon who said about the chemistry in this team. That's the type of thing which goes a long way. Iguchi has been found over and over again by his teammates. He's got, 8 threes now, but he's still willing to make that extra pass because Aminu had a better shot than he did.
Samuel Kalwini is going to come into the game. That's that ball for Uganda. So it's Iguchi, Ladi, and Mawal. Gucci, go! He cannot be stopped. He just saluted everybody. And a steal, and almost another basket.
And they are fun to watch, aren't they, Nigeria?
Well, 68-35 with Chamberlain and Gucci, 8 of 14 from 3-point range. He's on his way to one of the all-time great 3-point shooting performances.
5 of 7 of a team in the third period. Oh, fantastic. There is the salute.
Just hope he keeps putting them up.
Yeah.
I hope Will Voigt has to realize he needs to leave him in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he'll come out for sure, but there's still a long time to go. Got 14 minutes left in this one. He started to get in some of the subs. But again, the second unit for Nigeria hasn't been hitting these same heights. I wonder if he'll leave some of the starters in and just let in the second unit slowly. Rather than have all 5 of them out there at the same time. Trying to find Iguchi, isn't he?
fire, but also a sense of purpose, aren't they?
Timeout then.
38-36, Nigeria on the top.
Defensively, you're going to be on an island, so you got to sit down on your bench.
Come on, guys, let's fight. Let's fight. Keep going. Keep going. Keep fighting, guys. Keep fighting. Let's fight. 1, 2, 3. Fight.
Somebody, let's do that.
Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Line them up. Line them up.
No, I'm saying
Well, 8 3-pointers, made 3-pointers in a game is going to be pretty tough to beat here. I would suggest at the at the AfroBasket, and I dare say he hasn't finished.
The way he's going, he's going to surpass 10 before the end of this quarter. Again.
I'm sure the Nigerian coaches care too much about the record or whatever, but from a fan standpoint, it would be interesting to see how far he could go. He could maybe bring up about 12, 13.
Easy. I think it's one of those that in a game like this, why not let him keep going? You're trying to find that rhythm. You're trying to find some belief in your team. Something like that, there's a load of threes, is just going to give him so much confidence for the rest of the game.
Well, great defense from Iguchi yet again. And he goes in and shows he can make it late. We're going to have a substitution here. Coming in, it's going to be Jamal Ilasaweri, coming in at small forward for Nigeria, possibly. Although he can stroke the three as well. Oh, and he tried to dunk it. Foul was called. Well, give Uganda credit. They've come out here, played with a sense of purpose and determination, but right now they just overmatched. You know, you're talking about Al-Farouk Aminu playing in the NBA. Uzo has played in the NBA. Lawal is playing for Barcelona this year. Gucci, premier, three-point shooter in international basketball. Alade Aminu, obviously he's a huge talent as well.
Diago has played in the NBA, top 10 draft picks. We've got two top 10 draft picks on the Nigerian team. A lot of talent.
Also where he's been Farouk.
Farouk's coming off a good season. Played for Dallas, he's just signed a big 4-year contract, $30 million with the Trailblazers. We'll be watching, I'm sure, praying he doesn't get injured.
Well,
Give me that.
because Henry Malinga blocked. He must have been doing something right in the NBA to get that kind of contract.
He had a big playoffs with Dallas, 11 points a game. He had in the 2015 playoffs. And
Morney takes it, brings it up the floor, and good job. Lasawari reaches in and prevents progress there. Look at that, challenging every shot that comes in. The foul was, in fact, on Lasawari. The stage is set for Gucci to have a big tournament. When you think about his teammates and the different ways that Nigeria can play.
He's very much unknown. I know it's a silly thing to say, but with this team, you know, and in basketball generally, you're picking their poison, aren't you? You can't stop everything. You're not going to stop the other team from shooting the ball. So what you would do is you'd say, well, we've got to guard Al-Farouq Aminu. We've got to guard Luau, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. And Gucci's almost a little way down your thoughts. And the problem is that as soon as you turn your head, as soon as you give him any room, it's 3 points. If you don't help off him, you're just letting Al-Farouq Aminu destroy you in the low post or off the dribble or anything.
Koya is going to come in. On the shot clock. One, Mooney. Another rebound for Aminu. Aminu must have a lot of rebounds today. Let's check his tally. Sure, that can't be right. 14 points. And just 2 rebounds. He's had a presence inside.
Gucci's gone out.
Well, unfortunate. He can't play for in the game. He sits down. He's going to cool off. He goes out with 30 points. Giddy picked up the foul on that play. I'm looking at Alfred. That's what it was. So Aladi Minu has 6 rebounds.
I got it!
7.
Yeah.
We just smashed that one in.
2-8 Minus. That's where it steps out of bounds and turns it back over. Final minute of the third quarter. back at Gucci's Olympics back in 2012, his biggest scoring game was. And it wasn't like he was quiet. He did have a 35-point outburst against France. So, and he had 8 3-pointers that day as well. 8 of 15, 8 to 14. I was there, but I didn't remember that. But it was because they lost that game, but they lost it only 79-73.
And look at his statistics from the Olympics. It's fascinating, really. He had 2 points in the first 2 games. And it wasn't like he didn't play. 19 minutes in the first one, 12 in the second. He only had 1 point in each game. And then, you know, you go down, he has 35 in the last game. That is starting to get used to international basketball rather quickly, isn't it?
Well, it's 80-41, Nigeria on top of Uganda after 3 quarters.
He's got a chance to better that. So he has a career high of 35
One
in
pass.
international
We got lost.
competition. He's got 30 going into the 4th quarter.
Oh, is that clear?
20 minutes.
Look, listen at the point guard, okay? And let's play by his call. Stay focused on offense. Read the defense. React. Space out on court. They are switching a lot. Okay? So when we have good spacing and they switch, okay, we attack the hoop hard. Okay? Let's make them forced to come in and help. Kick the ball out for easy shot.
After 3/4 time, the 4 blocks.
Okay?
from Nigeria.
Remember those details, yeah? Okay? Full court man to man.
We're into flow. The ball will find the right person, all right? Find the right option out of flow right now. Keep it moving. If it comes into the post, have your splits ready, okay? All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Talk to
Let's
each
go
other.
it. Hey, defense on 3, 1, 2, 3. Defense.
It's going to be an intriguing matchup, that one. It really is. Down to the point guard play, though. That's the kind of question mark on Tunisia. We've seen a very aggressive defense from Nigeria. Start to get after the Tunisian guards. I think, you know, there'll be a tough night for anybody to try and keep people like Makarime and Uzo in front of them from Tunisia.
That is going to be one heck of a game because you know the crowd's going to bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I'd love to see? Nigeria go small, Al-Farouq Aminu and Ben Ramdal go at it. Because they're 2 of my favourite players in this tournament. Just think both of them really versatile. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nigeria putting Al-Farouq on him because he's such a key Ben Ramdal. For me, he is the difference maker. Whether Tunisia have a good one or not, doesn't guard him if you guard him Michael Roll. So it's still a good matchup either way.
These guys coming off the bench and haven't played much kind of find their stroke sometimes. Sabi Lumbi sitting on the bench for 4 fouls.
That's why I say, Coach Voigt has a tendency. It's because perhaps at this stage in the tournament it doesn't really matter. You know, they're just trying to get rhythm. But he has all 5 bench players on at the same time a lot. It's almost like the first unit and the second unit. And sometimes when you've got 5 guys stepping on the floor with a fresh, it makes it difficult because no one has any rhythm. When you sub in, say Gucci's out there with this lineup, well, everybody starts to get going a little bit. You don't have to do too much. You can just feed a Gucci to hit some shots. And then they start to get in the game, get their comfort level. Offense hasn't been a problem. I thought that's where they might struggle. But offensively, Uganda been very good. They just haven't been able to slow them down, Nigeria down.
Looking on, trying to make this thing more respectable here. We've got 9 minutes to go. Job well done by the Nigerian squad that's sitting there on the bench right now. It's only going to get better once the overtime.
Well, that's
that said, how do you fit him into a team that's playing so well right now?
That's the thing. I mean, you just don't know, do you? It's the great unknown. As great as a player as he is, it will change the dynamic. You know, the similar thing we talked about with Cape Verde. They found a way of playing in their opening game. They were electric, you know, up and down the floor. And we talked about the fact that Walter Tavares isn't here, or Eddie Tavares isn't here. He went to the Hawks draft pick. was they would have to play a completely different game to accommodate him. I think they had that same problem with Diagu because Diagu's really versatile. He can step out, he can shoot it, he can play in the low post, so he's kind of similar to Agidi in many ways.
Yeah, and he'll blend in with the team. I mean, he knows what it's all about. Giddy drives in, and foul has been called. Offensive foul on Giddy. And the thing about Diogu is, he's a veteran. He just wants to win. He wants to play. He loves the game. He doesn't care about his stats. And Wami misses. Okoye. Outside to Vinegar. Okoye. And leaned in. And offensive foul. There's 2 offensive fouls in a row called on Nigeria. What role is he going to have to play in the rest of the game? Giddy, long 3. And rebound. Here comes Omwami. And loses it a little. They'll keep possession.
Hey, come it up.
What I see from the Nigerian bench, you've got Minu up on the side, coaching, Chaplin, talking to his team. You see him encouraging, not just kind of thinking, oh yeah, job done. This is the other guys.
Played basketball last year with in the Italian league with Varese. Free throw agony for this team has been it's hasn't it tonight. 7 of 20. Time from Giddy, just a low dribble, gets inside and just powers his way up. Out of bounds, will be retained by Uganda. I guess in a way this is somewhat of a reality check. Maybe more so than they expected. They were speaking pretty confidently in their last game, after their last game, Uganda. They played so well.
It's such a tough group and tough draw they've got. This group A, for me, big 3.
Three from him, he's got 3.
For me, this is the toughest group. There's Tunisia and Nigeria in it, and then it doesn't get any easier because Uganda, if they don't turn over the final game and get a victory and end up 3rd in the league, in the little group, they lose to Central African Republic. They then have the crossover with Group B, and then chances are you're facing off against Angola. So, you suggested that in the 4 games they play in AfroBasket, they may face Tunisia, Nigeria, and Angola. mean, that's just a terrible, terrible run of games, really, if you're new to AfroBasket.
Ball out to Uzo, into Okoye. To Momi. And again, not able to control it. It goes back over to Nigeria, who was 16 points away from the 100-point plateau. There's a picture of him fumbling that ball away. Wama's going to make some changes here. That he missed that one so close to the basket.
I mean, coming with a reputation as a shooter and a scorer, but it hasn't really been that for him so far in this tournament. Just a quick look. He's 0 of 5 today. Today, didn't shoot particularly well either. Marial in for Uganda. Dal Marial is quite a big man in there. 27 years of age, 2.2 meters in height. He looks young, but he's 27. He acts quite young as well. He's got great energy. He loves being out there. I mean, we saw the finger wag. You should have seen him yesterday on the national anthems and stuff. It was, you know, he was just loving the occasion, really. You know, really relishing being here. And it's good to see Ugandan players. None of them have played on the stage before, so enjoy it while you are. Enjoy the moment.
He brings it across the court. From right, hits the three-pointer.
31 threes, Nigeria. Way more threes than twos.
Onomi drives around, tries to find some space. Chichi's going to come back in. I'll tell you, the way that Nigeria really just kind of stamped their authority on this game in the second, in the first half. It's kind of similar, in fact, to the first game, where it started off interesting, and it became quickly apparent that it was going to be over pretty quickly.
They just find their feet, don't they, Nigeria, when they kind of get their rhythm. When they've taken a couple of shots on the other team, they know what they're doing. I've seen them really before. It's not like you've got a great deal of scouting coming in, so just sounding them out, I think, and then they find their rhythm. Just,
7 points.
you've said, so many weapons. You want to go to the inside, they've got size, they've got power players, you want three-point shooting, we've seen that today. You want guards that can create, they've got Uzo, you want guys that can do things off the drive like Aminu, that they have really. You look at it, you're putting together a team, it's not really anything missing that you want to add.
Make sure you move, man.
Let's go, finish on three. 1, 2, 3.
In 95, they got third place. They were in the final in 97 and lost to Senegal. They finished runners-up in 2003 to Angola. And they finished third in 2005, which qualified them for the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Japan. And they had a good run there. They only went out in a narrow defeat to Germany and Dirk Nowitzki right at the buzzer. And then they got third place back in 2011, which got them to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. I guess the one in 2013 was a big disappointment because it was right after the Olympics and everybody remembered how good they'd been.
At the same time, though, I would say it's a disappointment. They've never won your AfroBasket. And for a country with the tradition the size of Nigeria, you know, their best is a second place finish. They've done that 3 times, but they're 8th overall in the medal table. So that kind of shows you, and like you say, 7th last time out as well, another disappointment. It is very much a tournament where they have yet to succeed. Yeah, well, they've yet to succeed on the level I think they would be expecting.
Yeah. Another 3-pointer for Uganda. There's been another one for Omonyi. He's got 4. 10 from mid-range and 20 points. They lost by 7 to Angola. Nigeria did in the final of 1999. And the long one, no good. It goes up for the rebound. They got blown. 2 years before that, in 1997, Nigeria were blown out in the final by Senegal, 69-48.
1 second.
Just wonder if the Achilles heel for this team, maybe, what do you think in terms of Nigeria from a depth standpoint? Does that come into play for them? Because their first 5 seem like they could probably go the whole game. And will Will Voigt be tempted to go with his starters longer if the games become tough? Or is he going to be, stick to his rotation?
I don't think depth is necessarily a problem for them. I don't think the second 5 has played well as a unit. That may be the difference, or what you could say. They haven't had great production out of this group that's on the floor really now. On the floor now, really. But I think there's a lot more to give from them.
Uzo will definitely have a lot of minutes. I would think Ogidi has played well as a reserve. Don't forget you got Diogo coming back, so he's going to want some minutes. Good. It's up to 80, 89, 54, 88, 54. Space, passes back out. Pointers. So there's a fast break. And finish released down the left side, but Nigeria held on to it. Oh, what a nice little dunk there from Okoye. That was after the foul. Okoye played at Virginia Military Institute in Lexington, Virginia. Interesting. Not one of the bigger schools. Well, timeout. And with 2:20 remaining, Nigeria just kind of easing to a huge win over Uganda.
Offensively in the half court, you guys can also use flow, right? You play out a rub, release it, and that will put you in flow. Doesn't have to be open, okay? You guys can find what you want. Side out of bounds here, all right? Let's see if we can get all the way to the split.
They have pretty good balance.
All the way to the split.
And
so
the team harmony.
I guess you're at the floor. You know what?
Off the board as well.
Who's got the hops here?
Stan's got hops. One of these guys is slow.
Don't set the screen if you're not, number 15 is not guarding you.
Wait, you're going to play follow. I want
together
you to
roster,
play
I
with
think.
him, okay?
As we're saying, they've got all the pieces that you'd want. There's no glaring weaknesses in it. They've got a lot of different weapons, different ways of playing, of beating you. You know, they can do things defensively as well with their length, their athleticism. And it was all about how they gel. They seem to have done that last year. though it was a similar thing. They looked unbeatable in the first round groups. They really did.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, if not better. I mean, we said they looked unbeatable in that. They played the knockout game as well. They won their knockout game by nearly 50 points against the Central African Republic. I mean, they were cruising, looking so good, and then all of a sudden they ran into a Senegal team which hadn't been playing well at all, and it came a close game down the stretch, and it all just fell apart really for Nigeria. And I remember that the last second, there was like 12 seconds to go.
Oh, pass, and he has just broken the glass.
It's that ring again.
Well, that basket has caused us all sorts of grief. Watch this. He hung on to it just a little bit too long and shattered the glass.
And this is where we hope there is a replacement in the arena, because there should be, I believe. It's a matter of whether it's going to be the entire unit which is rolled out and rolled back in.
Take a picture of that shit right there. Hey, take a picture of that right now. Yeah, the boss is over here.
Game just 2 minutes and 17 seconds to win.
Hey,
It might be tempting just to go ahead and call it off. Well, that's the state of play. And we're going to have to wait and see what happens.
So that's better. You go to get it. Hey, next time, come get this shit. Come get on his head next time. Get him over.
Sit back and admire this.
Holy!
This first time it's ever happened for me. It's like you said, there should be one. There should be one here at the AfroBasket. Clearly, Okoye just kind of held on to the rim a little bit too long, didn't he?
You can't really see. It'd be interesting from this angle. Is there someone below him? Yeah, he can't really let go because it is.
Somebody's there, and he might.
Ajiti, look, he hits him to the floor and probably could have come down, but you could argue that he's thinking he's just going to hold on for his safety.
Well, as it is, we've got some type of delay, and
So we need to get you a dynamic warm-up, whatever you need from us, let us know. Let's feel that. You start getting cold, tell us that, all right? I do not want to put you on the floor cold. So whatever the balance is, no. I mean, the last time I was in the game with Sharon Backboard, it was 30 minutes.
5-hour journey to have this happen in the warm-up.
Holy!
5-hour journey back. We've never been anywhere in basketball. Lower levels of British basketball. No replacement backboard. It's,
Next time,
the game's not happening, so like we said, we are hoping. There seems to be a lot of movement, I would say, from officials around here.
seems to be some amusement amongst those who are watching this as to why they haven't seen it. Well, as a reminder, in this game, we talked about Uganda just getting blown out by Nigeria, one of the top
Jackets.
And Champion Gucci has come out and really just lit the place up with 30 points, 8 of 14 from three-point range. And,
30 points in 20 minutes for Gucci. That's the thing. We'll see some highlights. Probably some of these will be him. There he is. He's been just lights out. He's got such a nice stroke. He is something to behold. 30 points. Impressive performance of Gucci, player of the game, without a doubt. He's 9 of 16 from the field, 8 of 14 from 3.9. Right from the very get-go, he's looking for that shot. He had 4 in the game yesterday, so that's 12 now in 2 games for him.
He's number 1 right now in terms of the three-point shooting in the tournament, in terms of certainly shot attempts, everything else. He's a phenomenal talent. He's one with experience. He played in that Olympic team. And it's interesting, they ran the play for Okoye. You can see the bounce pass went straight to him, and he went up and tried to dunk with authority. And what we have now is an unfortunate delay. You know, it's fun to be able to write about it and talk about it, whatever. But now now we have to cope with the consequences, and that means a delay. I guess most people don't have to be anywhere, so we'll stick around and watch what unfolds here before us. Looking back earlier today, games that have been in progress. We saw before this game a very impressive Mali come out with 78-54. Gabon started very well, but Mali just came together and just blew the board all over this. And tonight, we've got a couple more games that will come. It's too early to tell who's going to win this thing, but have you already started crystallizing in your own mind what it is, who the title contenders are going to be?
I don't know about title contenders right now. I came in thinking there's 4 teams. Nigeria, Angola, Senegal, and Tunisia for me were the top 4 teams. After day 1, I was very impressed with that Egypt. Now they were facing Gabon. So I think the next game we've got coming up, Egypt versus Cameroon, will be a really, really interesting one. Perhaps the game of the day, because Cameroon are not the heights of the team we've seen in recent AfroBaskets. 2013, they had a couple of really good players. They were really firing on all cylinders, but especially defensively, they looked very impressive. They didn't look quite as fluid in their opening game, but I think that'll be a test for us to see how good Egypt really are later, in the next game. See if they are the real deal, because they, for me, like in 2013, kind of almost lucked through into the final. That's very harsh to say, because you don't really, you make your own luck and you still have to win games, but they faced Tunisia when Tunisia weren't playing very well and got the victory there. And then, got some easy games, made it through to the final where they lost to Angola, but they looked better in the opening game than they looked in any game in 2013 for me. So, I think it'll be a nice litmus test of where we expect Egypt to be, and if they become one of those 5 teams then, or make it 5 teams that I think are contenders. I think, the medals are going to come from 3 of those 4. I'm not sure who I would put ahead of the others, because all of the teams have had positive and negative spells.
How does the tournament change, in your opinion, once you get, maybe not so much to the round of 16, but to the quarterfinals? Because, as you said, Nigeria were playing like a runaway train 2 years ago, and all of a sudden they found themselves in a close game against Senegal, and they couldn't get the job done. What happens? Is it just 2 tournaments? You've got the early part of the tournament, and then you have to have a completely different mindset?
I think the early part of the tournament, as we've said during the games, a lot of it is about performance. You want to perform really well. You want to get a good performance in the group games. Now, hopefully that's a performance and victories. But more than it, like I say, when you are winning, you want to win, and you want to then be playing better and better and better. I think what unlocked Nigeria a couple of years ago was the fact that they didn't have a full complement of players. They turned up with 12, one player in it, I can't remember who, wasn't deemed eligible to play. He wasn't on the roster. So then they were down to just 11 on the roster. And then Derek Obashano, he only played 1 minute in one game. So they're down then to somebody else, to less players as well. And then also, they had Stanley Gummer on the team, who wasn't really of the levels of the other players. So it meant really their rotation got to sort of 9. And I remember they had problems with cramp with Okoye. And so in some games they were playing 7 players. And I don't know whether you got into the knockout games then and they just had run out of gas. They just didn't really have the fight, because it is quite a taxing tournament in that regard. Because everybody goes through, there's almost another round of games.
Well, if you're just joining us, Nigeria was really putting a hurting on Uganda. They were laying put to them and just finishing it off with a stand Okoye dunk. And Okoye took the pass, went up, going to the rim,
That was crazy.
I have to say, you know, before that play, everyone would have been talking about Chamberlain Gucci. His performance was utterly brilliant today. 8 3-pointers. Now,
Come on, give me 10, 6, 7,
Nigerians and everybody else is going to be talking about Okoye.
Okay. We gonna break rims, baby. 7.
I guess they got
About to break the rims.
celebrated figure here in Tunis, shattering the backboard at the AfroBasket on day 3, the second game of the day, taking on Uganda. What the Nigerians and the Ugandans have been doing, they're going back to the hotel now. Right now it's about 5:50. Take about, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes for them to get in the changing room, have the press conference, go to the mix zone, head to the team bus, and take another 45 minutes to get back to the team hotel. So play their arrival back to the team hotel. Backboard is going to probably push the schedule back a little bit. Coming up today, Egypt and Cameroon are coming up next. And really what's going to happen is probably, boy, it's going to be a lot of Tunisians that show up for that, their game. They'll be showing up late during the Egypt-Cameroon game. And now they might be here for the entire Egypt-Cameroon game. Maybe they'll watch a lot of that game before they watch their game.
What we've seen is the North Africans are kind of sticking together. We've seen a lot of Tunisian fans turn up yesterday for Morocco, and they were cheering them on, and even Egypt, you know, they've benefited from some fans kind of cheering for other nations as well. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we had a great atmosphere, didn't we, for the Tunisia-Uganda game. I'm sure to tonight that'll be a good game. Tunisia, Central African Republic, who played very well indeed against Nigeria, but we have that Nigeria-Tunisia game. There's going to be a great atmosphere in here, possibly the game to set up first place in Group A.
Talk about the unpredictability of the AfroBaskets. Well, maybe.
AfroBaskets, as in the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
I like what you did there.
Folks, we have a delay due to the basket failure. I was at the Eurobasket women earlier this year in Romania when there was an electrical outage, and we had a slight delay, but this is a different magnitude here.
I know, similar to 2011 AfroBasket, I know in Madagascar, had a couple of stoppages where, due to power failure, lights going out in the arena.
Having a delay is, you just have to cope with it. I wonder how it can affect a team. It's not going to affect this game.
No.
If this had happened earlier in the game, then maybe, but how it might affect the other teams that are waiting around. If they have their routine for dinner, they need to so much beforehand. But I'm just really intrigued, having watched all of these games. I haven't set in my own mind which team. I don't think there is an outright favorite. And I think it's going to be difficult for Tunisia. And I've spoken to the coach, Adil Talatli, even before the tournament, he said we're under a lot of pressure. And you can see that when they played their first game, even though they beat Uganda, they weren't really convincing. But then again, Nigeria, they were winners over Central African Republic, and they weren't very convincing. They've come out today, they've been extremely convincing their game against Uganda. So every game has to be played. You never know how one player is going to feel from one game to the next, what happens in practice. Ike Diogu, what is the impact going to be? What is his impact going to be on Nigeria when he gets
Diagu takes the minutes that at the moment are going to perhaps Edie, which is a shame because he's been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
But primarily Olideji as well. Yeah. So he's played 19 minutes, Olideji played 14 minutes, and I think there the minutes for Luau and Alada Minu go down a bit as well. There'll be your three. Alada Minu, Diagu, and Luau, because you can play probably any two of those three together. You know, I think you can play Diagu and Sheng Luau together. You can definitely play Alada Minu and Diagu together. As we've seen, they played big minutes with Alada Minu and Luau right now.
Well, we are making progress, folks. You can see the basket has been lowered. It's a careful surgical procedure which is taking place. You don't want the glass to break and go all over the place. And you know, the way Nigeria treated this, and really everybody else has treated it, they treated it with amusement. The Nigerians, Okoye, and some of the coaches actually went out and took photos in front of it, kind of like selfies.
Yeah.
I'm sure it must be on Twitter already. I know pictures of the backboard are already on Twitter, but I'm just thinking maybe those guys have tweeted it from the bench. You never know what goes on these days on social media. Maybe we'll voice tweet it. We'll send it out. Instagram. Needless to say, the winner of the AfroBasket, let's go lose sight of what this tournament is all about. It's getting to the Olympics. The winner will get to the Olympics, and then other teams will be fighting for spots to the have 3 cities where basketball fans, international basketball fans, are going to be able to watch some outstanding basketball. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds over the year, who is going to be the host of these. But you'll know that, for example, that the EuroBasket 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place teams will all go to the FIBA qualifying tournament. They'll spread them out all over the place. Boy, you get sick of talking about these people like qualifying tournament? Just looked away when I said that.
No. I was actually just looking. It's interesting. We've got
about what I was saying.
Yeah, we've got 3 confirmed spots already.
Yeah.
For the Olympics for men.
The latest that was claimed by.
Yeah. So you tell me.
Australia.
So 3.
They won the Oceania Championship against New Zealand.
So Australia. Who else is already in?
Well, the host nation, the first. Well, no, sorry, not the host nation. The first team to clinch a spot was USA by winning the FIBA Basketball World Cup.
That's right.
And Brazil, the Central Board just said, as the host nation, will play at the Olympics. However, they have to settle some debts first, my understanding.
And for the women's side, we already have 5 qualifiers through to 2016.
Just let me say this 3 times. USA, USA, USA. They won the world title last year. They're in. You can look for Brazil. They're going to be there. The EuroBasket women champions. We were there. Serbia.
Yep.
What a story that is.
Yep.
That's 3 teams right there that's very good. Australia.
Yep.
Talk about a powerhouse program. The Opals. Many of the players that did play last year, where they have got a lot of options with Australia's Opals. That is going to be a tough team to get into. And Brendan Joyce is going to be spoiled for options as a coach. I'm trying to think of anybody else.
What more teams qualified for it?
Canada, of course. Well, Canada.
Absolutely.
They could not have had a better summer, the Canadians, for their women's basketball. What a story that is. How many times do you get to host 2 major events like the Pan American Games and the FIBA America's Women's Championship? Go on and qualify. Brilliant.
Yeah, done very well. The Canadian team. So just 2 spots up for grabs. The Asian Championships, which is taking place right at the end of August into September in Wuhan. And then the AfroBasket for women, which is in Cameroon. It's starting on September the 24th. So those are the 2 spots up for grabs on the women's side. Then, like we said, there's the 5 spots at the Olympic qualifying tournament. For the men's side, we still have AfroBasket to be settled here. There's 1 spot, 2 spots at the FIBA Americas Championships, which starts the day after AfroBasket finishes on the 31st of August. And then EuroBasket, the 5th to the 20th of September, where again we will have 2 qualifiers. And then the FIBA Asia Championship for men, which you may be at if you're lucky.
I'd like to go to that.
Between the 23rd of September and the 3rd of October. So assuming Jeff Taylor can receive the Chinese visa, he will be there.
This is no laughing matter, trust me. I'm going to lose sleep over this. I'm just going to call up, there is a graphic.
While you're saying that, you can't see on your pictures at home, the old backboard is now off. It has been removed and taken into the belly of the arena. And we're now to the stage where we're putting the new one on.
So yeah, the 2nd and 3rd place teams of this group go to the qualifying tournament. 3 through 5. So the finalists will go to the Olympics. 3rd, 4th, and 5th at Mexico City, which tips off on August 31st. FIBA American Championship. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know who's going to do that. That tournament seems wide open. New Zealand has a team to finish runners-up for Australia. FIBA Oceania Championship, but the men and women, they'll be going to the qualifying tournaments. And is that a goal with the eyes? That's all you enjoyed?
I like the changes with Australia and New Zealand going into that new Asian.
Because you feel like it's too easy to get to the qualifying tournament.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like New Zealand and Australia may get there every year out that group anyway. I just feel like, when you look at EuroBasket and the competitiveness of teams to try and make a spot at the Olympics or to make even a spot into the qualifying tournament, and New Zealand basically make it from losing two games against Australia. It doesn't seem a valid comparison,
no,
really. And that's nothing against New Zealand, because like I say, if they go into the group with Asia and they qualify through every year, I have no problem. They're a fantastic team, very, very good outfit. New Zealand have got a lot of young prospects. I was lucky enough to see them in Europe, in London, when they played, and they were warming up for the Oceania Championships, and we were talking and saying, really, New Zealand kind of shot themselves in the foot a little in the last couple of minutes in the first game of the two-legged series, because they were right there with Australia. Just the last couple of minutes meant on that game saw Australia open up the double-digit lead, and that really did kind of make it a very difficult ask for them going back to Wellington for the second game, the New Zealand team.
Yeah, and New Zealand, that was a gritty win for Australia, because they had a little bit of adversity. They lost Dante Exum. They were able to bring Pat Mills into the team, who wasn't included in the tour of Europe, but and in some ways, I'm not going to say that was a blessing in disguise, but you're not hurting yourself when you add Pat Mills to the squad. And Andrew Bogut is back for Australia, so that was a big story. That was a good New Zealand team. A New Zealand team that had some new players. Don't forget, New Zealand got to the round of 16 last year at the FIBA basketball World Cup. Here they are, up close and personal. Stanakoye, Nigeria, has shattered the backboard, done late in the contest, 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. So the backboard is being replaced, and Uganda is moving up and playing. And Nigeria up the other ones to get a basket. No matter how much time they're moving, that would give me punishment. Can I just suggest something here? Maybe they should go play 5-on-5 in half court.
The last 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Just so we can get the show on the road.
Free throw shootout.
Yeah, that'd be good. Here's Stanakoye. Watch this. He gives it back to him, and he goes up, kind of loses the ball. He hangs on the rim, and you can see pieces of glass fall from that angle. So that was how it happened. And here's again another look at it. So we'll be seeing this probably around the world. And the shatter of glass from Stan Koye. And probably one of the more famous moments of his career, really. Everybody's talking about it. And what did I tell you? There's going to be a few more fans piling into the arena to watch Tunisia later tonight. Right now, they would be thinking they would be coming to watch the next game, Egypt. And now they're going to get a sample of Nigeria. The only question I have now is Stanakoye on the court. And maybe the message should go down to Nigeria. Hey guys, let's don't dunk it again for the rest of the game. Let's just get off the court in one piece, all right? Are you surprised the technology hasn't gotten to the point where that wouldn't happen?
Backboard. I mean, it was interesting because it didn't shatter until the ring came up again, rather than the force of it going down. And often on the new backboards, what I've seen is there's a gap all the way around as well to stop this happening even more. So you obviously can't see it from the distance we are away, but there's a small, 1 centimeter gap all the way around from the perspex to the actual ring itself. And often what that means is there's no contact between the two. You think, oh, there's no way it can break, but still.
Hi, Kiki. Daddy loves you.
There, Shane Lawal. You were loving him, and there he is, talking to the crowd. And you can see Ike Diogu over to his left. That group of players that's sitting on the bench right now is not going to come back in the game. The only Nigerians that have a chance of playing are the ones that are out there getting loosened up right now. So it's going to be the same guys that were out there before, which suggests that Stanakoye is going to go back out there and hopefully we won't see the attempted slams.
The life of a reserve, though, isn't it? So if you're a starter and you've played well, basically, you said to the coach, I'm not going back in. I'm just going to sit here. They haven't had to warm up at all. All Nigerians are going to go out there for those final 2 minutes. They're out there trying to completely warm themselves up once again. Not far off being ready to go here. Done a good job getting this ready.
Yeah, I haven't actually timed how long this delay has happened, but you know the other game is supposed to start at 6:30, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it won't be that much of a delay. This means that you and I, we were going to take a break and go for a jog of about 3 miles. We had just about enough time to get back and shower. We're going to have to scrap that plan for tonight. And we're getting ever close. We hear that it's almost about to happen. We're about to raise it up. And once that does, I bet you there's going to be some applause. They're making sure that all the shards of glass are up off the courts. So it's been an eventful time here in Tunisia, the AfroBasket. Remember, Tunisia is the country, the team that won it in Madagascar 4 years ago. And they played in Abidjan, and they were upset by Egypt, well short of the podium. This is the big year. Salah Medri, having played for Real Madrid and helped them win everything in Spain and in Europe. He signed for the Dallas Mavericks, so this is a big event now. Basketball is a huge sport in this country, and it's a huge cause for celebration to have the AfroBasket in this country, especially as it's also an Olympic qualifying tournament. Boy, does this now become the one thing that you remember the most? Look at Will Voigt on the left, the Nigerian coach, the head coach. He's thinking, I didn't draw this up, what do I do now? Is this going to be the one thing that you remember the most from this tournament from the first 3 days?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Will Voigt's just taking a look at the stats, isn't he? He's a very meticulous coach. I mean, they were the staff that was here on opening day, so way into the night, really. And they were still here when we left about midnight, waiting for the video. They weren't going to go back to the hotel until they had video of Uganda. As we said, preparation is so difficult in these tournaments. Teams coming from all over the place, so I'm not sure how much they had on Uganda before the tournament. They were desperate to get that copy of both them and the Central African Republic as well. Excuse me, and Tunisia, who are the two other teams they play. I'm sure they'll be staying around for the next one as well, getting their look of Tunisia for that final game.
It looks like he's a good fit for this team. Will Voigt. A couple of games in. Seems to have pretty good harmony with the players. They respect him, what have you. Pretty much. As a coach of a national team, what do you do before you select your squad? If you're including somebody, or do you even have to say anything? If you select a guy that didn't expect to make the team, he makes it barely. He's obviously not one of the better players. Do you have to say, listen, you're in the squad, but you're going to have to prove to me that you earn the minutes, or is that kind of understood? You don't really say anything?
I think one of the major things on national teams is making players understand their role, because on a national team, everybody's a superstar. You look at Stanakoye, he hasn't played a lot really in this tournament. He hasn't really done too much, but we said he's playing in the top division in Italy. He's had a solid 4-year career at Virginia Military Institution. 2 years ago, he played a relatively big role, but now his role has almost been reduced. That's not because he's not a good player. It's just the fact that, Chamberlain Iguchi's come on has looked like the world's best player.
Yeah.
So I think the management of that, the people and how you use them is vital for any team and any coach in this type of environment, because, like I said, all of these players are used to playing a lot of minutes. All of these players are used to being the superstars on their team. Really.
Everything is on the call.
Speaking to Koye and Olasawere, Jambo of Mali after the game. He had a huge game today against Gabon. He was just talking about it was his first experience, and he just he's loved it. He loves representing his country, and he is going to go all out to try to get to the Olympics. We'll get to the Olympics, get there, winning this or getting a spot by winning one of the Olympic qualifying tournaments next year. So it's a special event. Stakes are high. Tunisia won it back in 2011. There was a surprise factor, even though they had finished third 2 years before that. Nobody expected Tunisia to win the title, and Salah Mejri to get the MVP. Not only did that give them the African title, but it got them to the Olympics. So AfroBasket is where big things happen. So Josh Johnson, player that you know in England, and Uganda. And Uganda will be better from this experience, and they were pretty open about, you know, after the game against Tunisia, they're like, we just want to learn. We want to learn as much as we can from this experience. And it's not just about the year that you go. You know, you see some national teams, and they get the moment to take part in something, and then it's done. You know, you've got to be able to use the opportunity to build on it, to make yourself stronger. Look at Finland, for example, how they've excelled over the years. I'm trying to think of a similarity in African basketball.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of teams, though, with players. We just talked about the Central African Republic is a great example. You know, a couple of years ago, they had Grabongo as a 19-year-old. He played big minutes there. Jimmy Jimbre, he was here, and he's the youngest ever player in AfroBasket. And now they're back, and they've gone from 2 years ago. You know, Grabongo kind of battling on his own, this frail boy on the inside getting manhandled. And now, you know, he's a player that he's out there, he's taking it at people. You know, he's a player that's at this level now. Same with Jimmy Jimbre, 2 years. But that's a plan, that's a development that's been in place. You know, there's Redas from Morocco as well, Haras, sorry, from Morocco. He's another one, played as a 19-year-old last time out, now he's 21. You know, he's developed, and you've seen how he's moved on, and they're kind of planning for him to be the takeover when Abdul-Rahim Zawita, you know, stops playing anymore, or isn't able to play at that same level.
They've got some continuity in this Nigerian program. You know, some of those players that have been playing for several years, they always show up. And clearly, you know, for example, with Al Farouk Aminu, you know, spends all season playing 82 NBA games, gets a big contract, goes to Portland now. You know, he could be doing other things. He could be in America. He could be somewhere around the world, on the beach somewhere. He could be training somewhere, but he wants to be with his national team, helping him get to the Olympics. So it's good. It's good news for people like that when their big guns come back and play. It was a shame not to see for the Central African Republic, for example, Romain Sato come out and play. But you know, I'm not pointing the finger at him, but it's just a shame that he's not here, because it would be great to see one of their best players, a guy that was, I think, briefed on the NBA with San Antonio and plays in Spain with Valencia. You know, he would make that team a lot better, or he would make that team better.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a variety of ways, or reasons, isn't there, why players don't turn out. Sometimes financial. You know, teams can't afford the insurance they need and things along those lines. Other times it's, you know, clashes of personality with players on the team or the coaching staff, and other times it's just a lack of communication, really, or an ability of the federation to engage those players. Because, you know, you look at someone like Al Farouk Aminu, as you said, you know, he plays all year round. He's never at home. He travels a lot with the NBA. He's living out of hotels. He doesn't really get a family life. He doesn't get a chance to rest. This is it. He probably gets, you know, a month or two in the summer to be able to do that.
Although that said, he's kind of also gets a chance to spend the summer with his brother, Alade, which is very important.
And I think that's a case in point, that when you play for the national team, you know, if you're sacrificing, which players are a lot of the time to play for their national team, they want to enjoy that experience. They want to have a great time. So they want things to be set up for them. They want to be treated well, because if you're, you know, especially if you're slightly older, and I don't know, you know, someone like El Farouk Aminu's situation, but if you're married, if you've got kids, you're being away from them even more. You're only going to do that if it's something that you're really enjoying and is something worthwhile. I think deep down everybody wants to play for their country, but it's still a payoff any time. You know, this tournament here is 2 weeks, but the players have been together for at least a month before this, in preparation, playing games, traveling again. So it's not just a 2-week thing for them, it's, you know, 6 weeks. It's 2 months worth of commitment for them to play for a national team. And I think that sometimes goes unnoticed by people when they see, you know, the players pulling out, which is obviously for us as fans, we want to see all the best players there.
Okay, as a reminder, sorry Lloyd, I'll pick you up on that in a second, but the delay of this game is because the basket, or rather the backboard, was shattered on a dunk by Stan Okoye. In fact, he didn't dunk it. He was about to dunk it, and the ball flew out of his hands. And he grabbed the rim to prevent so it wouldn't fall on somebody else, and he hung on to it. And as he hung on to it just a little bit too long, the backboard shattered. So we've had this lengthy delay, and a new backboard is being put on. Here it is. Watch this. Not this one, but that was the player here. I'm sure we're going to see it coming up. And that's why we have the delay here at the AfroBasket. So we've got more action coming your way after this game. In this game, it's Nigeria leading Uganda 88-54. Earlier today, Mali were big winners. There it is. That's the shattered backboard highlight. Earlier today, Mali were big winners over Gabon. Can't look at Lawal there and not think that it doesn't mean something to him, how excited he is to be a part of this national team program. So Nigeria, kind of just, not that they needed to, but just kind of reminding everybody today how good and how talented they are in the game and what their potential is. I would guess you'd have to say, would you say they're the most, Nigeria are the most talented team here?
Yeah, I would.
Talented, or do you quantify that by talented / athletic? How do you do it?
I think talented.
Just pure talent.
Yeah, I think player for player. If you had, you know, one-on-one competition, you put your best player against somebody else's best player down. I think Nigeria, you know, for sure, they win the game. 12 players, you know. I would say arguably, you know, they win most battles all the way down. Their best player better than most teams' best players as well. So it's an interesting one now. Very talented team, very talented. At the same time, you know, you can only play 5 players on the floor.
Yeah.
So having 12 talented players sometimes doesn't really help you too much. In some ways it hurts you because
my wife Melo, I love my wife, my daughter of mine. I love you, baby. I love you, Ty. I love you, EJ. Love you, Kiki.
Shane, get up here. I'm not sure that's allowed in the regulations. So today is day 3. First day, Tunisia played, and we had a big crowd of presidents. The nation's president showed up here, took part in the opening ceremony. That was obviously a big deal, and that was a lot of fun. And we got to see, there's Will Boyd, the Nigeria coach. We got to see the Salah Medri in Tunisia play. That was exciting. I'm thinking day 2, yesterday, what would have been a highlight. I think yesterday's games were probably the best that we've seen so far in the tournament. Go back and look overall. There's the Uganda players. They've made their bow here this AfroBasket. So yesterday we had Cote d'Ivoire and Cape Verde. Cape Verde came out. They really had an outstanding game. remember, we have this delay right now, Nigeria game against Uganda because Okoye shattered the backboard when he went up and attempted to dunk. Saw Angola play great against Mozambique once they woke up. They won that game. Algeria, Zimbabwe was a fantastic game, and Senegal, Morocco went right down to the wire. So that was a fantastic day yesterday. Chamberlain Noguchi, also Uzo, two of the guards for Nigeria have been terrific. They've been a lot of fun to watch for Nigeria. That's a good point. With this Nigerian backboard that you've seen, if they can keep these guys healthy, is this an elite backboard, or are you not completely sold on this backboard yet?
I think it's as good as most in AfroBasket for sure. I don't think there's too many other backcourts that will dominate them. I think, as I said, I think they'll give other teams more problems. I think that the better teams out there actually don't have great guards. If you think, we talked about Senegal, don't have particularly great backcourt. Tunisia don't have a particularly great backcourt. Angola have the Morais brothers now, and I like Carlos Morais. I think he's good, but then, for me, Costa's got to improve for me.
Yeah.
I think he needs to take it up to another level, and I think that he could be seen as a weak point for an Angolan team now. But saying that, we always said he was perhaps covered by the fact that Milton Barros was there and gave them something different. And now it looks like the younger Morais is going to be able to step into that gap, kind of be that spark plug perhaps. It won't be long until he's taken over full time from Armando Costa. So I wouldn't say Angola's backcourt is world class. That's why I'd say Nigeria probably has the best pairing of any of those teams. Again, Egypt would be lower.
Don't really have the number one or the watch team, although Suleiman Diabate is an outstanding guard, but Nick Birdie. They've got good guards.
Cape Verde does have very good guards. Xavier. Almeida as well.
Almeida.
Yeah. Xavier, Almeida, they play very well indeed. I was really impressed with them.
Just when we thought it was ready, the way they've taken the basket back down, so it looks like it might be a couple more minutes before it's ready. Now they're trying to...
They've just got to get it up straight. Backboard's on. The problem is the ring, the camera attached to the back as well. They had to take that off before they could put the new backboard on. I think it's just a matter of getting it up straight more than anything.
This is exactly why I never dunked basketball when I played.
Me too as well.
I didn't want to risk this happening.
Well, personally, I did this a couple of times when I was so young, so then I just didn't do it anymore. I was just quite angry.
Just wised up.
Yeah.
Whipping is from your parents.
On the 6-foot ring in the garden.
Madison Square Garden, really? So the AfroBasket 2015, what an event it is. It's had a little bit of everything, including the shattered backboard, not in practice, but in an actual game. A game being played between Nigeria and Uganda. The game being staged on the 21st of August. The hot, sultry weather, North Africa. Stanley Okoye decided to take center stage, go up for a dunk, and as he caught the pass from Oyedeji, he soared towards the hoop, lost the ball, caught sight of the rim, grabbed it, held onto the rim for what, 5 seconds? 3 seconds?
3.
Made sure that he didn't land on somebody else. Just when it was time to release and let go, we saw the glass shatter, and our lives changed forever.
Beautifully described, Jeffrey.
I mean, what else can you say? We're not, you know, but to be fair, it's nice to be able to say that we've seen this happen at least once in our lives. Have you ever seen it in person? Oh, have you? All right. I beg your pardon?
I still find it quite amusing that only 6 Nigerian players are warming up, and the others have either decided they're not going to. It's almost like the privileged few just get to sit down and watch from the side. And others are out there.
Maybe this is an argument to go back to a steel backboard. The fans piling in here saying, "What's going on?" I'm not sure they really know.
The problem is the basket's kind of angled down still.
Oh, I see.
You just hit it.
They should get Okoye to go over there and do it. Punishment. I like Okoye. He hails from Raleigh, North Carolina. Brother in arms, baby. I like it.
Reach.
Yeah, you can just stand there. There's a... Sorry, I thought I lost it there. Somebody's getting tired of us. Dal Marial is 2.2 meters in height. Plays for Uganda. You can go there and help push it up. Look at Nigerian Olasawere. There he is. Go down there and help him out. Oh, that's what she did. Olasawere was like, it's still a bit bent. What are we going to do?
Still not right. I think they'll probably get this game out of the way, and then we may see another delay.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter at all in this game, does it?
No, but they're going to have to probably adjust it again before the next game.
I know Stanley feels bad about this. So Stanley Okoye's hanging on the rim, shattered the backboard at the AfroBasket 2015, part 1. No, part 3. On day 3. And the second game of the day. And it's just caused a delay, which is why you're reading right there on the screen, delay due to basket failure. And what Boyd was alluding to is that several of the Nigerian players who had already come out of the game and weren't playing, I think possibly, is it to minimize the risk of the players getting injured? Some of them are going to stay out, and they're just going to go with several players here to finish the game. One of them being Stanley Okoye. So we're in Tunisia. It's AfroBasket 2015. It's a tournament that is going to run and run and run, and we'll eventually finish on the 30th of August. And we will be deciding to see who gets to the top of the podium and qualify for the Olympics. The other teams, the second and third place teams, will go to the Olympic qualifying tournaments. There you see some of the fans coming out to check out the action. It's interesting how this part of the world, they do have a lot of, right now we're going to have the different element. Will Boyd is turning around looking.
Is the measuring stick coming out?
Yeah, it is. Now, Nigeria can have no complaints about anything on the stage. Come out and measure it. That brought like a little smile from that player right there.
So you see it's like 6 foot out.
Oh dear, this is not good.
Yeah, you can't see on your picture. They've just put the stick up. The stick shows the rings possibly 10 centimeters low, perhaps.
No, they can't be right.
Yeah, now they're adjusting the stick.
Yeah, they need to adjust the stick.
You're supposed to adjust the basket, not the sticks, so it fits. But a lot of the players from Nigeria did go out there and hold the ball near the ring and kind of reach up as if to say, this is really low.
I'm just happy that Oyedeji's out there taking part in this.
Now he walks
He
away.
may have a future in basketball supports, making sure that they're level, straight, the right height. So with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game, Nigeria lead at 88-54. There's been a delay because of the shattering of the backboard by Stanley Okoye. And all it means is that we've had to, what do you think? Is it taking about an hour or more?
It feels like it, doesn't it? You know, considering this game's only got 2 minutes left and it's, what, 34-point game. It's taken a long time.
So we've had the delay following the shattering of the backboard by Stanley Okoye, and I don't know what the message is, but I see Will Boyd telling Stanley Okoye, Stanley, I love watching you dunk, but let's just get through today, okay? No more dunking for you guys. But it's telling a Nigerian basketball player not to dunk. It's like, what would you say? Telling a singer not to sing?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Back to Okoye with 2 free throws.
Oh, this is brilliant. We are starting, folks. It's 88-54. Nigeria on top of Uganda. A lengthy delay following the shattering of the backboard by Stanley Okoye when he was attempting to dunk the basketball. He held onto the rim. Now it goes up to 89-54. And now it goes up to 90-54. And there's excitement in the arena. Now that the game is underway, Uganda, having lost their opening game against Tunisia, are going to be on the receiving end of another big beating here. They've had their departure back to the team hotel delayed somewhat. There's a Chitty, and this team has dropped just a little bit. Now, Uzo brings it up for Nigeria, and he puts it up off and in, off the glass and in. So, looks like he may have got hit in the face a little bit.
And knocked his passes off.
Oh, nice bounce pass from Josh Johnson inside. And that was Jimmy Inabu getting the basket. You can see Carl Marial in the game here for Uganda. Benuga drives in and floats and tries to do a little bit of a little finger roll at the end. So he will earn a trip to the free throw line. Good 92-56 Nigeria. Well, there's a replay of Benuga driving in, and you can see the foul just as he was about to release it. So Ochiti, Stanley Ochiti, exits the game. He is fouled out. And at least Benuga can blame the rim for being tilted, so he missed the free throw. Second free throw was good from Benuga. Rumbi has come back into the game. Purple Paladin. Josh Johnson gets into the lane, out to Inabu, who dribbles in the lane, spins, and hands it off to Nigeria, Olawaseri. Another dunk! And Olawaseri raced down, and
he didn't hang on the ring at all, though, did he?
Thankfully. That's probably what was told to the players. Just don't hang on the rim. I think for their own safety, they don't want to hang on the rim. Josh Johnson hands it off. Players got the game high for Uganda. Oh, look at Sidi Rumbi skying for the rebound. Mone has 20 points. He's number 12. He was going for that jump shot and missed it. Chamberlain Oguchi has the game high 30 points, and he has 8 3-pointers for Nigeria. Quite possibly the signature performance of this AfroBasket so far.
Yeah, I would say so. I think, you know, standout individual performance And probably this Nigerian, this Nigerian team could be said has had the team performance, the full sort of 40 minutes, even though they did have a couple of spells where they didn't play particularly well. But
you're just talking about today. What about over the whole tournament so far? Well, some teams have only played one game.
No, I think this is probably, maybe Egypt against Gabon.
Koye puts up the 3, and the angled rim certainly to his liking. 98-57. And the foul has been committed on, was it Uzo?
He's not a happy man, Uzo. I'm sure what it is. Body language.
I think he may have been popped in the face on a drive to the basket.
Yeah, no. He definitely was. But even before that, he's been frustrated at something. I don't know whether it's a lack of minutes from him, whether it's these goggles. He's always taking them off. The glasses he's wearing, he has been poked in the eye. That is why he's wearing them. He doesn't usually. I don't know whether that's why. He's just not comfortable with them on.
He certainly didn't want to be guarded too closely by Josh Johnson. Just kind of pushed him away. Now he puts up the short jump shot. And good job now, the three-pointer from Uganda out of bounds. Air ball with 21.1 seconds remaining. Nigeria with another chance to get to 100. Next trip down the floor. Will they go for it or will they hold it?
Hold it.
Bring it out, and maybe that's going to be it. No, it's hard to tell. So that'll be it. It'll be 98-59. Nigeria win it over Uganda. Nigeria winning for the second consecutive game, and Uganda falling to a second consecutive defeat. You could be looking at a team that can go all the way. This Nigeria team certainly not short of talent, and it looks like they're not short of drive either at this AfroBasket 2015. Well, the three-point shooting, 8 of those 15 threes for Nigeria were made by Chamberlain Oguchi, and spectacular performance from him. Just imagine how many he would have scored if he stayed in the game and played more. He would have had a huge performance. As it was, it already was a huge performance, but Nigeria just completely dominating Uganda. Joy to watch. We did have the basket, the shattered backboard after the Stanley Akoya dunk with about 2 minutes remaining, which caused a delay of about an hour. But we finally got it finished, folks. Thanks for watching. We've got 2 more games coming your way. Be sure to tune in to AfroBasket 2015.
Nigeria!